Thanks for tuning in today to learn more about the importance of staying on top of the latest labor market insights and what you can glean from the information that you find. The labor market is affected by a multitude of factors that are ever changing. If you are securely employed, it's important to stay abreast of what's happening in the labor market as industries are adjusting to technological, economical, and social trends. So even though you may not be job searching at this time, it's prudent to keep an eye on labor market shifts as you prepare to grow your career. As a current job searcher, it goes without saying that the more you know about the labor market, the better prepared you are to search out the best opportunities in the strongest industries. My name is Trisha Grace, and I'm part of the Alumni Relations team that works with both employers and graduates to support you as you develop your career after graduation. Connect with me on LinkedIn, go ahead, or you can email me at tgrace@georgebrown.ca. If you have any questions, any comments, I'd be happy to hear from you. Some of you may not know exactly what the Alumni Relations Office is. The Alumni Relations Office exists for the George Brown College alumni community, which is at about 250,000 and ever increasing. It's where you connect to update your contact information. If you have a new email account, you've moved, you've got a job, and you'd like us to know that you got a job. The Alumni Relations Office updates everything in our database so we can stay in touch with you and ensure you learn about important activities and events at the college and around the GTA, and for that matter, around Ontario and Canada, depending on what events we're supporting. It's where you can access exclusive alumni benefits that include special rates on home and car insurance, life and health insurance, travel insurance, discounts on entertainment and attractions, and lots more. Also consider volunteering at the college as a mentor, guest speaker at an event or in the classroom, or see yourself featured in one of our GBC marketing materials through testimonials, grad success stories, or videos. So check out our website that I have included here on the slide, or connect by email and let us know how you want to be involved with us or what we need to update in the database. Also, go to any social media site or platform and enter the hashtag GBC Alumni to follow us. Okay, so our agenda for today is a few topics that we're going to cover. What is labor market information and how to use it, why you need to know about labor market information, what trends influence labor market information, and where to access labor market information. I may refer to labor market information as LMI, just to make it a little easier. So let's start with what LMI really is. So what exactly is labor market information? It's the data that provides insights into the supply and demand for labor within a certain labor market. That's basically the definition. And a certain labor market refers to, a labor market that can be national, so across Canada. It can actually also be global, or a specific labor market information that is very specific to a region, like a province or a city in its scope. Labor market information provides the knowledge and understanding of how the labor market functions. It's crucial for interpreting current and future economic circumstances and its potential impact on where work opportunities will open up or where they may close down. Labor market information gives us an overall look at the health of the economy, meaning is there growth in the demand for products and services? Is there price stability of those goods and services, and is employment of the population high? It also provides labor data and trends that includes industry information, and that is around which industries are experiencing growth and which are in decline, as well as those specific employers within a sector. It also provides geographic information about where people work according to job category and in what industries. Occupational information like jobs and skills in demand is also provided, which might include the skills shift as we're impacted by automation and digital methods of getting work done. Educational and training qualifications are also something you can find through labor market information, and it would be according to industry and where graduates with specific educational credentials work, plus developments in educational requirements. LMI also provides demographics regarding those who work in an occupation, such as a breakdown in age and gender. It also looks at working conditions, what you can expect within certain occupations, such as physical surroundings and company culture. Forecasting of job prospects, that includes typically a 5-year outlook, and that means what is the demand for people in a specific occupation. It's a prediction of the change in the number of people employed in a specific occupation within a certain amount of years, which is typically measured. So as I said, 5 years is most common, but you can also find predictions of 10-year spans as well. So if you wanted to know what is an expanding job opportunity, where will the jobs be, that you're going to find in forecasting and the predictions of how fairly well an occupation will do going forward. So it addresses questions such as, what are the highest paying occupations? What geographic locations have the best employment prospects? What jobs are employers having difficulty filling? What occupations are projected to grow the fastest? What types of education and training do employers require of prospective employees? Understanding labor market trends and forecasts is key to identifying both the challenges and the opportunities in the workforce. What are the trends impacting industries and what skills will be most in demand? Right. So where does the information come from? LMI, or labor market information, comes from many sources and is information for different audiences. So those audience members who are interested in labor market information include job seekers, business leaders, educational institutions, and public institutions. Government agencies such as Service Canada, Statistics Canada, Employment and Social Development Canada, Citizenship and Immigration Canada, and Industry Canada are primary sources of labor market information. Each provincial government will collect data through their provincial economists and analysts, and even municipal reports come out regarding local LMI data. For example, the Toronto Workforce Innovations Group compiles a yearly report on the state of Toronto's workforce development trends, gaps, and opportunities. On the last slide that I have provided in the presentation, I have all the links to these various resources that I'm mentioning. It's also important to access industry reports through associations, media, or from large companies that actually invest in research, collect data, and publish, such as Deloitte has really great reports. PricewaterhouseCoopers reports, Conference Board of Canada, the Globe and Mail report on business. And all of these business reports, they give great insights into the current and future state of labor market information in Canada, also on a global perspective too. The top two, Deloitte and PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they also give a global perspective on labor market information and where those jobs are in the future. So, and a lot of trends, they report on a lot of the trends that affect business across the globe. So feel free to pause and take a closer look or return to these links a bit later. So you might be thinking, well, why do I need to know? As you consider where to go after graduation, or if you are ready for a mid-career change, labor market information is important to keep an eye on for many reasons. Career decisions that you make have a long-lasting impact on your lifestyle, future opportunities, and your overall happiness. Getting the right information on careers of interest and future prospects will allow you to make informed decisions on the right direction for you. So you can learn about where to get started in particular industries, career pathways that will take you from entry level up to senior positions, availability of jobs in your region and the industries that hire and the companies within those industries. What other job seekers might have as qualifications that will be your competition. It's important to understand when you're out job searching, what does your competition have and what are they presenting to employers? And that's why it's really important to learn that. The value of your education and certificates to get your career moving and keep it moving. And also, you need to know about essential competencies and skills required to succeed in your field and employers' expectations of your skills and aptitude for a particular job. We can assume that access to information on required skills, employment trends, and labor supply and demand will create an opportunity for you to make better career choices and to help move you forward confidently. So we've all witnessed what a pandemic like COVID-19 can do to the economy and the sudden impact on a career pathway. So having a clear vision of how your career might be impacted by disruption and how to build resiliency so you can quickly pivot in your career is going to help shield against unforeseen situations that may be out of your control. So with labor market information, you can find answers to questions to determine how solid your career choice is now and into the future. Questions like these: where can I go with my educational qualification? How resilient is my career if I should lose my job? Do I need to add an additional educational qualification to remain competitive? How can I optimize my earning potential? Would moving to a new region increase my chances for getting a job? So you might be asking yourself, so what influences the labor market? What are those things that impact it? And it's important to know. So basically, whoops. The state of the economy, demographics, immigration, political platforms, industry activity. These all affect the labor market. So, the overall state of the economy changes according to economic situations like recessions, pandemics, natural disasters. All of these situations will affect employment rates. Another influence is demographics, which refers to the state of the population at any given time concerning size and average age, which will affect the supply of labor. This might include fertility rates and retirement rates. It can also refer to the levels of education of the population. Immigration has a huge impact on the labor market. It can fluctuate and affects the supply of labor to fill jobs. Political atmosphere can affect the labor market depending on funds that are made available to train, retrain, and generally support the workforce and the businesses seeking to hire. And also industry activity, which is directly affected by supply and demand of certain products and services. That will affect the labor market. There'll be some companies that can't survive or thrive depending on the supply and demand factors, which was experienced when COVID hit and borders were closed to the fluid movement of goods and services. So those are the influences on the labor market. What are some of the trends affecting the labor market? So there are various events that are and will continue to cause disruption in coming years that we can predict, such as the new focus on digital technology. And it means much of the work we do can be done from home, and there will be an expectation to understand and use digital tools effectively. Workers will be expected to glide easily through using cloud-based file sharing systems, be proficient with video conferencing, be on top of social networking with the ability to create and post over social media for business purposes. So what you need to consider is whether you're ready for these workplace expectations, and if not, how can you get up to speed? Artificial intelligence is moving into numerous areas of the workplace, such as recruitment, training, completing repetitive tasks, providing surveillance, problem solving through chat boxes. Artificial intelligence powered personal assistants to help with meeting scheduling and note transcribing, plus automatic translation devices for cross-cultural meeting, as well as robotics for completing certain tasks on the jobs. So some jobs will be entirely replaced by AI, and in other cases, AI is augmenting job responsibilities in order to free up employee time to focus on those more human aspects of their job, like customer experience, employee engagement, and workplace culture. It's predicted that AI will produce more jobs than remove jobs, but your challenge as a job seeker or job mover will be to become agile enough to work alongside AI and use it to enhance your productivity. Globalization has been a trend that's been affecting the labor market for years, but even more so now as we move into 2021 and beyond. A company's workforce can be located all over the world, which makes competing for jobs a little more challenging. But with a global economy also comes new businesses and markets for goods and services. So to best prepare for this new world of work, are you considering building on skills to make you more competitive, such as learning a new language, developing cultural intelligence, excelling at teamwork to really hone your collaboration skills on the job? Another trend is the baby boomer retirement trend, and this will leave a large gap in the workforce. Many employers are experiencing the loss of those workers and can't seem to fill the vacant roles fast enough. Have you considered where those jobs might exist and how you can prepare to move into those opportunities? Also, consider the need of this large group as they are healthier than previous generations and prefer to remain active. Is there an opportunity for you in your field to provide goods or services to this cohort? So keep an eye on LMI to see where the demand in jobs will be as the boomers begin to retire. The move away from full-time pension jobs of 50 years ago means that workers need to be able to quickly adapt to changing employer needs and to think of themselves as independent contractors with a set of skills for hire. More industries are shifting into the idea of each worker providing a service and then moving on to another opportunity. This concept is better known as the gig economy. This suggests that lifelong learning is essential for anyone hoping to stay current and attractive to employers hiring. So are you adding a micro-credential or industry certificate that will give you an advantage over the competition? Things to think about. So how can, LMI help my career? If that's your overwhelming question, which it should be, the answers are clear. The information you will find about the labor market will allow you to Discover what industries are doing well now and are projected to do well into the future. Discover what jobs are in demand. Discover in which regions there is population growth leading to a labor demand. Discover the skills employers are looking for and the education you need to access those jobs. And lastly, to discover which are the jobs of the future that will be in most demand. LMI, Labor Market Information, provides a path of discovery to help you better prepare for where you want to take your career. So I've included here a list of links that will take you to great sites. They provide the insights you might be looking for to best educate yourself about the labor market as you get started on your career or continue to grow your career. This is an important step in finding the work you want to do in the industry and company that you feel is best suited to you and that will get you on the path to success. So that's it. I hope this webinar was helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or comments. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. So you can email directly at alumni@georgebrown.ca. That's it. Thanks for joining me today, and good luck as you get moving in your career. Take care.